It's day 14 of designing an Animal Crossing island in just 30 days using only DIYs. Yesterday we finished the path layout for our entire island. We also determined the final location for our last buildings.
It's the 30-day DIY island.
It's cleanup day. This place is a disaster. And if we want to start actually decorating, it's time we get our stuff together and start cleaning some things up. Now, we've recently figured out the overall layout for this island, which I'm very, very pleased with. So the next step of the process is to get things, kind of sorted and where they need to be. I'm also just realizing something. I made the incorrect assumption that I could put paths under the front of Nook's Cranny. It works like that for a lot of other buildings. This is not one of them. And I'm sure you guys noticed that in the last episode, and I did not. That's okay. That's okay. We have an extra space behind it, and I think subconsciously I was designing for this very problem. So Abel's sisters will have this space empty, but Nook's will just have to move back one. I was gonna move the museum today, but now this is a problem. Okay, I will handle Nook's today as well. It's cleanup day. It's cleanup day, and that's the perfect, reason that we're having an entire day dedicated to it. This is one of the big projects. We need to clean this place up quite a bit. We also have trees just everywhere, just wherever I could shove them. And so you have all these big spots without trees, but then you walk over a few steps and then you got a bunch of trees just kind of, for different reasons and different places. And it's a lot, guys. We have a lot of work to do. And I swear, it took a DIY only island for Nooks to get some really cool items consistently. Like every time I come in here, and maybe it's just because I know I can't have any of it. Every time I come in here, there's some other cool stuff. The other thing I would like to do today is focus a little bit more on our finances. As of right now, we have 100,000 bells in savings and not enough money to pay down our home loan. In addition to that, we have bridges and other things that we need to place down that are going to cost a lot of money. So there's definitely some stuff to figure out here. My first priority here for cleanup day is to prioritize getting all the paths filled in. I did them as outlines before just to kind of get my head around where they're all going to go. Now it's time to get them all looking nice and complete and intentional. And of course, the other part of cleanup day is going to be, in particular, this flower garden. This thing is going to be kind of the bane of my existence. But before I do anything here, I need to get my inventory figured out. I have a whole bunch of trees that I do not want to throw away, and I just need to find a temporary spot for them. So for now, I'm going to keep those right here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the brick fencing. However, there is going to be some fence around this of some kind. I'm just not sure what yet. I don't think brick is going to be the vibe, though. For this cleanup, I want to keep in mind the mechanics of hybrid flowers. What we're looking at right now are lilies and all the different combinations you can get. Luckily for me, I already have all the different types of hybrid lilies. So my plan here is simple. We're going to try and get even more of those hybrid lilies to hopefully one day fill out this entire space. And we'll make some kind of really cool looking pattern with all the different lilies we get. What this means, though, is that I need to either do one of two things: spread these lilies out over a greater distance, or dramatically reduce the amount of lilies we have in one space so that we can create a better, more efficient hybrid garden. Ooh, what do we think this is? It is an IV drip. I think the game is trying to tell me something. For now, I'm going to start dumping the flowers here on the beach just to get them well out of my way while we figure all this out. Clearing out one side of the garden was my first priority here, and I'm glad I did, because now whatever we do on this side, we can just mirror on the other side. The next thing we have to do, though, before I can plant anything or figure out how this garden is going to look, I need to know the size of it. So there's a fence that's going to run from right here and go up. How far up do we want it to go before we cut it off and have it come back around to here? I'm thinking where I'm standing right now might actually be the best bet. And what we can do from here is have some stuff happening in between Abel Sisters and Nooks and this flower garden. So you can imagine some fountains over here. I don't know. I don't know all the DIYs we're going to use. Maybe fountains. Maybe a lot of fountains. Maybe there'll be fountains everywhere. Maybe I should just name the island Fountain Island, and I could just make fountains and then get 5 stars using only fountains. In fact, let's do that. Let's start over right now and just make Fountain Island. Okay, fine, I'll make fences instead. I think what would look really great are these log fences. These fences are awesome for those more natural kind of areas on an island. So let's start by just placing some of these down. And what I don't want you to worry about is how this is going to look with this right here, the corral fence and all this stuff going on. This very well could change, first of all. But secondly, I'm thinking there'll be trees, like a lot of them, between, you know, this fence and this one. So it'll feel like two separate areas, but I am looking at it myself and worrying a little bit, like, is this going to clash? I'm not going to worry about it, though, and I don't want you to either. Let's all just pretend I know what I'm doing, and this is going to turn out awesome. So this is the start of our flower garden, and it already doesn't feel super big. I mean, fences obviously take up a good amount of room, so we will probably push it forward even more, but the determining factor is going to be how the flowers get arranged. What I would like to do to make this area look more interesting is place down alternating dirt paths. So I'm going to go by the darker dirt path. And once I do, I'm going to place them down like so. The lighter dirt on one part and then darker dirt, and then it's just going to go down as like that consistent pattern. And based on the way I laid this out, I do think I want to go up at least one more tile with our fencing. By the way, these paths are 2,000 Nook Miles apiece, and as you can see, my Nook Miles situation is dire. I have been playing every day, but I have not been paying attention at all to getting more Nook Miles. That's going to have to change. I'm going to need to spend some time maybe off camera just gathering these up. The Nook Stop itself has a ton of DIYs in there, and really good ones too, including Fountain. And we're about to hit the halfway point on this series, which means the decorating, the real day-to-day decorating, is going to begin very soon. So having time to get more Nook Miles, that's going to be on me, and that needs to happen. Here's what we're looking at for one side of our garden. So far, the hybrids we have in abundance are orange, and that's it. We have 2 black and 2 pink. I want to collect them all because I don't exactly know what I'm going to want more of, but I think I want to make one entire side red and white, which will give me more pink. At the end of the day, I think the pink ones will go a longer way than the orange and black ones because these give like Halloween vibes, and I just don't know if I'm going to be decorating anything that's going to use them. I don't know. So I'm going to set aside an entire side of this flower garden for pink lilies. Meanwhile, on the finance side of this challenge, I just caught this. And these are always worth something, so that's nice. Speaking of selling things, I have way more light white lilies than I do of, I think, any other type. So we'll be selling any excess flowers from here because from here on out, our plan is simply to just populate this place with hybrids and additional flowers that we breed. So it should be pretty easy to replenish these. And it's going to be a while before we have to really, really worry about having a certain amount of flowers. And as you saw with getting 3 stars, all that'll really take, if we can do a panic, we get towards the end of the challenge, it's just going to take me going to some islands and collecting some flowers. Hopefully, though, we can earn them on our own. So there's the red and white side done, and I'm really excited because I think it's about to rain. It's almost into another hour, and it's going to rain, I hope, which means I don't have to water these, which is always good. I mean, you get points, and I was just complaining about Nook Miles. You do get them for watering, so maybe I should do it anyway. But I don't know, I'm just kind of happy not to do chores. Now, from here, I can go ahead and start selling the white lilies because I don't really need them for any other parts of this design we're doing. The white ones are only used to get pink lilies, and we already set that farm up. There it is, the next hour, and here comes some rain. All the flowers are watered. Oh, that is so nice. I finally cleared out all the flowers that were next to the path. There's still more I gotta go through, but I'm getting rid of all the holes now, and I can start to put down the fences and little farm-looking paths next. Ooh, we got some lightning too. I haven't been in a thunderstorm in this game for some time. I feel like it would be great to have, you know, like a raincoat and some rubber boots and things like that, but unfortunately, I have to make all my own clothing. Oh, and I still haven't caught a second boot yet. I haven't tried super hard, but I need to go fishing and find a second boot so I can actually make myself my first pair of shoes. I don't know, if I have time today, maybe we'll try and do that. It is cleanup day after all. I just popped a balloon and got an underwater wall. So now I have, I think, the underwater floor and the underwater wall, which is nice, really nice. We haven't even looked for the daily DIYs today, and I already got one falling from the sky. That's great. Anyhow, this flower garden is almost complete. I did not realize how many of these lilies I would be throwing away. It's a lot. It is a lot. I only needed 6 yellow lilies for the layout I'm going for these hybrids. And, I mean, the rest of the yellow lilies and white ones are going to get thrown out. And then, of course, any red ones we don't use. But, interestingly enough, I don't have a ton of red ones. I'm kind of worried I'm not going to have enough. And indeed, I did not have enough. I need 3 more to complete what I'm trying to do down here, and I don't have them. So, there is an alternative plan. You see, hybrids have a tendency to spawn more hybrids. So what I can do is take some of the red lilies out of the equation up there and replace them with maybe orange lilies, because that's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get more black and more orange on this side. So I could replace them with like orange ones or black ones and hope that they just kind of populate those types of hybrids for me. And that way I can just have something in every tile where I wanted something. And it's actually black lilies that I'm trying to grow in this top section. So I went ahead and grabbed my only 2 black lilies. I'm going to put one here and one here. So now these red lilies will grow black lilies, and then hopefully these 2 black lilies will grow more black lilies, and we'll have black ones covered. And then down here, this is where we get orange lilies. And then again, this whole side is dedicated to pink lilies. And everything you see here is trash. This is the 3rd time today that a villager has given me some garbage that I can't use, I can't wear. I don't know what's going on. They just keep giving me stuff. Oh well, more money for me. We've almost cleared the way for our path. I'm just taking out some last little objects here, like so. And we have some flowers, but most of them are on the beach now. It's cleanup day. We're still getting rid of them. And last one. There we go. And these will obviously be donated. This is coming with me in my inventory. And then the hybrids for now will live down here for a bit, but eventually they will make it up to here. It took like almost an hour in real life, but we can now finish laying down the rest of this path. Stinky is monitoring me like throughout this entire thing. Look at, he's just following, watching every move. All I'm trying to do is make sure I don't accidentally talk to them. Now he's distracted by a bug, because nothing is more annoying than trying to do something and then bumping into your villagers and having them tell you about some dumb thing or put more trash in your inventory. I like Stinky, but, you know, just let me do my work. So, speaking of work, we're done. I mean, with this part. We have this path running now in front all the way over to this bridge, and it goes up. All the paths are starting to connect, and everything looks really good. I love how this build has evolved, by the way. I never was sure if I was going to keep a flower garden in this spot, and I like how we decided to just kind of go with it. You know, we will keep it here, but we're going to make it look a little bit different, organized a little bit differently. And I really like it, and I'm excited to decorate around it too. And also, I didn't show you guys this yet, I don't think, but the bridge is done. Let's cross over here, and there is another area we have to tidy up a little bit, and that's this path. There isn't much to do, we just got to fill this in. After we do this, there's one more area for the day that I want to focus on to kind of wrap up cleanup day, and it's also going to tie right into the finance issues I was mentioning earlier on. All right, this path is now good to go. I don't know if more paths will kind of sprout off of it, or we'll start to maybe switch to dirt when we go back here for Eric's house. We'll figure that out later. This is looking good, though. I'm happy with this. Oh, I forgot, we still got to move Nooks, too. So for now, I'm just going to put Nooks right here, and we will move it tomorrow back to where it's supposed to be. This does represent a bit of a delay in moving buildings. I wasn't time traveling to do this because I don't feel like we're in a rush for this part, but there is a lot of time traveling in our future, so I don't know. I won't worry about it too much. But yes, Nooks will move over the following day. Our last cleanup project for the day involves my place, or the future site of my place. And I'm going to just ignore Eric's house. It's actually, believe it or not in my way for what I'm wanting to do today. What I want to figure out is my money situation, okay? I did remove all the trees already, but we have a bunch of, you know, a bunch of problems when it comes to trying to pay off loans and things like that, and we got a lot of loans coming up. So I thought having some kind of farm outside my house would be ideal, but because we probably can't get any crops just yet, it's going to be a while, we're going to have to make a different kind of farm. So to solve this problem, I'm thinking of doing fruit trees, a fruit farm. And I'm going to have to figure out how to lay this out because I don't have a lot of room on this side, but I certainly do want to plant some of these trees here. Essentially, I have 5 tiles of space between my path and then the start of the beach there. So I think what I'm going to do is lay all of this out with dirt all the way up to the edge where the stairs would begin. So right about here. This entire rectangle will get filled in with more dirt, like so. We're then gonna do the same exact thing on this side, like this. And then from here, I need to do a little bit of work to figure out the spacing because what I want is a fruit farm and I wanna make sure I can stuff as many fruit trees in here as possible, but without also making them feel like they're really cramped in. So ideally there'll be 3 spaces between each hole, which isn't going to work because of the way this is laid out. Oh boy. Already having problems with it. We'll, shoot. No, wait. Okay. We see it. We see it, right? So I can put a hole here. we can plant a tree here. It just can't get any closer to the cliff than that. And then we can put trees in the middle like this. So we can kind of double up there. And this would be the pattern for it. My plan here is to alternate between apple trees and peach trees. That's right, the peaches are finally getting used. Bloom break, where are you? Is it over here? No. I was close, though. Please be a DIY. It's a cypress plant. I would love to keep that, but I can't. What is this, though? A sauna heater. Hey, that's nice. I just got another balloon, and that paid for our Nook's Cranny blunder we had earlier. It's also times 5 points today for catching 5 bugs, so I've taken a bug break. Anyway, my hope is that one day, this dirt plot, both of the dirt plots, will become crops of some kind, even if it's just one. Even if I only get wheat or something. I would love to have crops that I tend to, and then that grow, and then I pick them every few days and sell them off. I think I'd probably make more money doing that than having this little patch of fruit trees. You know, you can certainly fit a lot more crops in a condensed space like this. But there it is. And like I said last time, I think crops are as easy as just kind of learning cooking. But we need DIYs. That's going to be our biggest challenge. Speaking of which, I'm going to go find who's crafting today. It's Harry again. Yay! And Harry is making a tiki torch, which actually I already have. I don't even know why I got excited. I might have been thinking about tall lanterns because I think those are going to represent our street lights around this island. Once we get the tall lantern DIY, we're going to put those things everywhere. The reason I'm so fixated on DIYs is because next time that is what we're going to be doing. We are going to time travel way into the future if we need to, and we're going to get as many DIYs as possible. When we do that, that video will be right over here, and you can check it out.